Hey guys, let's turn that down a little bit. Welcome to the pre-stream. My microphone's a little bit far away today. Hey, how are you guys doing? We've actually gotten a donation before the stream even started. Thank you, Draadstaal. Let's see what he said for the sneak peek. Maybe I should this time. Maybe. We are getting closer. So what's everyone saying? 7 thumbs up already. Nice. I'm all confused. I'm live streaming while it's still light outside. So there is a lot of light, but let's see how it goes. I need to change the setting I'm seeing. There we go. Yes. Okay. So, how's everyone doing? Will there be pink LEDs in this stream? You always ask me, and there always are. I mean, you even ask me while it's pink in the background. What more do you want, Johnny? I saw the announcement yesterday and was very interested in this. Hope to stay as long as possible before getting back to work. Don't we all? See, my background heard you. It's even more pink now, Johnny. Andalese is here. Draadstaal, of course. Joe Velasco. Let the show begin. Philip is here. Nice. Is he? Wait. Why am I not seeing Philip? Yeah, oh, he's okay. He didn't say something for a little while. Cool. So, drinks today, kind of boring. We have vanilla Coke and cherry Coke. So I think I'm going to start off with the cherry. Because I like them both. So, hey. Tech Turtle is here. Of course he's here. Tech Turtle is here for this. Come on, of course. You can start now. Tech Turtle is here. Let's wait a little bit. We're still in the pre-stream. The stream doesn't start for 10 minutes. Sorry, Draadstaal, I was really busy again this week. We still need to meet up. But yeah. Oh, there's a little spider on my desk. Do you want to see the spider? I am in a garage after all. I mean, or am I just going to remove the spider? I'm just going to remove the spider. Come here, little spider. You will now be relocated to the trash bag. Have fun in there. Okay. Bye-bye. Oh, vanilla for David, but Draadstaal's like, yeah, good choice for cherry. You killed a spider. I didn't crush it. I just put it in the piece of paper and then put it in the trash bag, and it's going to have the time of its life there. Who knows? Maybe it'll find its way out. Spiders and I have a deal. As long as I don't see them, they're welcome. Because, well, they trap mosquitoes and flies and stuff like that. So, that's the deal. You're allowed to be here, just, I don't want to see you. If I do see you, you get moved. Oh, Dave Odessa. Hey, Taxman. Evening, Dave. Earth Gamer XC. Whoa, early. I'm mostly early. What fun, rummaging through the trash. I don't think the spider really minds. I don't know. Need to get a Coca-Cola Zero Sugar bite so I can taste the pixels. Yes. For the spider party. What's your new exercise routine? No stress? That works. I don't know. I have some stress sometimes. So, I don't know if it's that. I don't really have an exercise routine. The spider is eating the bugs in the wastebasket. Exactly. It's like a whole ecosystem. Hey, I ordered a new chair today because we're probably going to be bothered by the lowering chair of irritation again. So I made the decision and I splurged for a Secret Labs chair, the 2022 Evo, I believe. And yeah, we'll see how it does. You missed a few live streams and the color temperature has gotten colder over time. I don't know about that, but we're still having outside light where we normally don't. All my cameras are set to 4400K, but it's closer to 6000K now. So as the stream progresses, my face and everything will get warmer. I have a video of a spider capturing a bee on my channel. Nice. Go for Secret Labs. It will be a great chair. I ordered a Secret Labs Evo 2022 blah XL with fabric, not leather or fake leather. And it'll be here next week, I think. Outside, best light. Well, next to LEDs. Hey, Chung Chung LEDs is here. Seen him a few times on the Discord servers. We need a video of the assembly of the new chair. Is that something you'd be interested in on a channel? It won't be a live stream, or at least not from here, because this room is way too small. I'm already afraid how big the new chair is going to be. Although, it's likely going to be about the same size as the old chair. Unboxing of the chair. But aren't there like 1,000 videos of that on YouTube already? I mean, I could do it, but you know. "10 minutes of cutting cardboard and wrestling with foam and plastic wrap." Probably. You'd watch it. Okay. We'll see. I don't know yet. Mounting and swearing at chair. Yes. Nice. Is this one already dipping down? Not sure. We'll see. Oh no, I'm looking at my OBS stats and it says my disk will be full in 368 hours. So we have a little bit to go. You could do an LED install on the new chair. I'll think about that. A video of my lights. I don't know about that. Make it pink for Johnny. There's some pink in there, and it'll randomly change to other colors. So, but we'll be designing an xLights sketch today, or xLights fseq file, and we'll put some pink in there. Do you mean we have to cut this live stream short? What? Why? Good day, everybody. Hey there, Savog. We haven't lost the signal. It's loud and clear. Oh, the Secret Labs has a good manual and probably 3 videos to help you assemble the chair. Cool. Well, yeah. I was kind of debating between an office chair and a gamer chair. And this is more of a gamer chair / combo office chair, I guess. But since I've always had a gaming chair here, I mean, if I remove this, let's see here. This is an AK racing chair, but it's like 10 years old or more. So I was like, yeah, I've always had a chair like this over here, so let's get another one like that. I think the Secret Labs can only be better than this one, so. Oh, what's the consensus on running a RAID array on older dedicated unit QNAP as opposed to a new PC? Either is fine, I guess, whatever suits your needs. The QNAP will likely have a little bit lower power usage than a PC, so... Speaking of gaming, says Johnny, I was streaming on Twitch earlier and I even got a viewer. Nice. So, let me get things in order a little bit. I need this guy. And I need this guy. And then I guess I need this guy. Do it like that. Okay. Thanks, Quinder. How are your solar panels working for you? Do you have a solar edge inverter? Yes, I do have a solar edge inverter. And we could actually take a quick peek at how the solar is doing. Because I need to prepare the browser anyway. So let's do that real quick. I seem to have lost a key on my keyboard, that's all. Oh, there it is. Let's see if I can share my browser. There. Now we have Home Assistant. Nice. And let's make it a little bit bigger. Because I have the Home Assistant energy dashboard running. Oh, wait. When I zoom in, it gets smaller. Oh. Well, I guess we could do it like that. I don't know. Can we make it bigger? Yeah. So let's look at the energy for yesterday. We produced pretty good. We peaked up to 7.84 kilowatts. I've seen peaks up to 10. But we got 58 kilowatt hours of solar in. But the house only used 44 kilowatt hours. So we have a net profit of a little bit. Of 14 kilowatt hours for that day. Nice. I really like this Home Assistant integration. They did a great job. So here it peaked a little bit higher, 8.9 kilowatt hours. We did 52-ish again, but only the house only used 45. So yeah. Oh wow, we had a peak. Oh, 8.77. But I've had days of like 80. Yeah, here's a day of 76 kilowatt hours. And the house only used 53, so we gave 22 kilowatt hours back to the grid netto. We have something called salderen, so everything we put into the net we can get back for free, basically. Now this is the Solar Edge inverter, and then we also have a digital power meter for the whole house. And both of that data gets combined in Home Assistant, which is this. Yeah, right now we get the full... basically, if we give them a kilowatt hour, we're getting a kilowatt hour back for the same price or free or whatever. That is going to change in the future, but for now, that is what it is. And thus, batteries don't make much sense over here, because the grid is our free battery. In the future, who knows, maybe I'll get a battery, I don't know. But, yeah. I have not looked at the HA beta yet, no. Oh, my most ever is just shy of 81. I think I've had 85 or 89 kilowatt hours a day. Not sure. Because this was 76, 60, 36, 31. I don't know. All right, this is a, yeah, I had to reset my data because of various issues, so I can't go back that far. But yeah. So let's see, this month we did 1.5 megawatt hours, but we used 1.4. So we'll see how it turns out. We use a lot of power. But that's because we also don't have gas. We have a air to water heat pump. So this is also all our heating, cooling, hot water, etc. Yeah, we have a 12 kilowatt hour 3-phase inverter from SolarEdge. Anyway, let me read back because I was looking at the other screen too much. Johnny has 3 followers on Twitch. Nice. Savok is busy building window LED. Only one problem. I'm waiting for the release of the new board. Okay, well, if you're meaning DIY, I'm working on those articles in the background. And other than that, everything is released except for the AE Plus we're going to talk about today. But that's going to be soon, so... Yeah, we use a lot of power, but as I said, I have multiple servers running and computers all day long, and the heat pump uses huge amounts of power. So, yeah. Yeah, Gently is also loving the energy dashboard. Yeah, it's extended to 2025, but then it's going to downwrap quicker than it did before, that's all. So, for now, I'm good. Yeah, I don't even know what its lifetime for me. I can check in the SolarEdge app. Oh, today we actually did 74. That's pretty good. So lifetime, we've done 35 megawatt hours, and this year we've done so far 5.52. But we can check what we did last year. Yes. Well, last year I did 12, and the year before that I did 13. The year before that I did 10, 9. Yeah. So we're well on track. So yeah, you seem to have been doing good, AV Dude. Anyway, we're well into the streaming time now, so let's quit talking about solar stuff and refocus to LEDs. So let's first take a look at these guys, because these are the production boards. They're not fully released yet because we're still working on some stuff in the background. Because everything we send out is fully tested and stuff like that. So we're still building the custom testing jigs and, you know, things that packaging and things that surround that. But these are the QuinLED-ESP32, and we already had the AB, which was, you know, a normal version with a board antenna. Then we had the AE, which is a version with an external antenna. I don't have one to show you. And we have the ABE, which is the board antenna version, but then with Ethernet added on top. And they only get sold as a full pair. But yeah, a lot of you have been using the ABE for driving real-time pixels because that just works a lot better than over wireless. But we might be getting a second option for that with the AE Plus we're looking at today. Because the AE Plus will be available in 3 versions. It will be available with touch. All versions get touch, so there's a little touch button on the PCB. It's just a little fun addition I could add for free, so hey, why not? And then there will be a version which has a IR sensor and a digital microphone, but not the extra channels or the SD card slot. Okay? Then there will be a version which has the SD card slot, as you can see right here. Right? There's an SD card. You can insert it like So, and it's fully reachable while it's on the big boards. And then there are 3 level shifted output channels, extra output channels, with a 33R resistor. There's no resistor switcher on there, but they are fully level shifted. And then there is the Uber version, which basically does it all. So that one has the IR receiver, microphone, SD card slot, and the extra channels, and well, the touch button too. So that's when you can't decide what you need. You just want everything. Yeah, that'll do everything. And even at the same time if you want to. The only thing is, this is only available on the external antenna version. That's because with the board on top of here, so for this board, I did use the AB, so for the ABE, because you only need the Wi-Fi to turn Ethernet on, and then you're going to use Ethernet with this board. For this board, however, you're going to always be using it wirelessly. And having this board on top of here with the board antenna would block a lot of the signal. So this is only going to be available with the external antenna and not with the board antenna option. And just a side note, if you have an external antenna board, always connect the antenna when you can, because otherwise it could give issues on the radios. But yeah, those are the new boards. And let me show you this guy, I guess. Here you can see the SD card slot and the IR receiver, and the digital microphone is right over there, but its microphone hole is actually through the PCB on the top here. So sound goes in there and then reaches the microphone that's on the bottom of the PCB here. And then, well, I can pull it apart real quick. I have to be careful doing that. There we go. On the bottom you can see 3 individual level shifters, because I like individual level shifters where I can. And then the output resistors are there, and yeah, everything's on there. Now, it's not a very complicated board, but some of the components are kind of expensive. Like the microphone alone is like $2.50, because it's a high quality digital microphone. Yeah, there's some challenges with that. So it's not going to be a cheap board. But then again, if you have a dig board, you can do everything this does basically yourself, except maybe the SD card slot and the extra channels. But yeah, so it's just as a convenience offer for people who want to, have these extra features on their dig boards. It's compatible from the Dig Quad V2 and upward and the Dig Uno V3 and upward. So everything we've been selling for the past year and a half or so will be able to use all of these features. So even if you have a dig board currently, Dig Uno or Dig Quad, you can just take off the ESP that's on there now, plug this one in, and suddenly you have a digital microphone or IR receiver or some extra channels to play with, or the SD card slot, and yeah. But I wish this would have been available today. We have the boards, because these are the production boards. But as I said, we're still working on some processes in the background. But the hardware is good, so they should release pretty soon. Let's see what everyone's saying. Too many revisions in too short of a time. Yeah, well, the problem is I can either choose to keep the products the same and not innovate or improve, but I don't. I choose to improve what I can where I can. Like recently we got the resistor switchers on the board, which is a free upgrade. So version 3.1 has those and version 3 didn't. To make things better if I can for free. I guess you could feel left out if you have an older version board, but I don't see that as a reason not to improve it for people buying right now. If you understand. And this is just an extra option. If you wish to run Christmas shows, for instance, that's what we're going to talk about today. If you're running a different firmware than WLED, you can run ESPixelstick V4, currently in beta, and lots of work is being done on that. But that can utilize this little SD card slot to run the LED data locally, so it doesn't have to be sent over the network, which you can do with the ABE. Now, the ABE Ethernet version is still a great alternative or option, but this is just adding another option. Microphone is a big sell for me. Can't wait to get my hands on one. Good job, sir. Why the IR receiver? Well, you know, if people can get a cheap remote like this kind of stuff, you know, those very cheap remotes, will probably be adding or selling those too. And if you have a microphone and you put this on top of your Dig Uno, you also have IR. So now you have a remote control and you don't need to use Wi-Fi or your smartphone app or something like that all the time. Maybe it's not useful for you, sure, but it might be useful for others. So, when do you add the extra ESP? For many more options. The extra ESP? What do you mean? I already have so many ESP types. We have Ford Motor Company if we want no improvements. Keep innovating. That's my thought too. If I release something and just keep it static forever, sure, if it's perfect, but nothing is ever fully perfect, and there's always more stuff you want over time. So if I can build that in there, I certainly will. Yeah, TechTurtle is excited for the SD card. Yeah, I know. I think you're one of the inspirations to actually pursue this and get this done, so. More pins. Yeah, I wish there would be a new ESP version which also supported Ethernet, but haven't seen one yet. Yeah, sure. You can relay IR too. So anyway, that's all for now about the boards itself. There's even the GPIOs listed here for the extra channels, but there will be a dedicated video once these are actually available. But for now, we're going to use this middle guy. Let's put these away. Which is the version that has the SD card slot, which we're going to focus on today. So there's a little 32 gigabyte SD card in here right now. But actually, I've been testing, of course, because I have production hardware now, and we need to test that versus my prototypes. Oop. I've tested with all of these. Hold on. So I've tested a little 8 gigabyte guy, worked fine. But I've even tested Extreme Pro 64 gig, worked fine. A little 2 gigabyte job, worked fine. And then there's this one. This is a 64 1800 one, so it even has extra row of pins for UHS-2 compatibility. Of course, my slot doesn't do that, but you know, works fine, and works fine. So all of them work fine, which is good. Yeah, so the idea of the top hats has always been you can configure the board the way you want it and need it. So today we're going to use this little 32 gigabyte one I've been testing with mostly. But I tested everything, and even the 64 gigs one. You need to format them with FAT32. Windows can't do that natively anymore above 32 gigabytes, so you need another tool to do that. But once you do, those work fine too. Today we're going to be using a Dig Quad. This is actually the V3 DIY we built recently, so we're gonna be abusing that. I've had very unwieldy antenna attached to this thing, so I need to be a little bit careful, but there we go. And it's connected to a 120 amp 5 volt supply. That doesn't really matter too much. So we're going to move this to the side because it's not that interesting. It has 4 rows of LEDs. There's a 4th one over here. Connected to it. Most of them are 60 LEDs per meter. One of them is 30 LEDs per meter. This one doesn't really matter. First thing we're going to do is we're going to plug in USB-C. Oh wait, I can't really see what I'm doing. Oh no, I broke the antenna connection. Okay. Yeah, so this little antenna wire is much stiffer than the one we deliver with it, so I can't really move it too much. Anyway. What the hell is the idea behind the antenna? You want to install this 20 kilometers away? No, but, you know. Well, I can't really help if people buy antenna or SD cards from China and those don't live up to specifications. That's not going to be my problem. So, let me see if I can share what I want to share. And we're going to do that on and off a little bit. Because ESPixelstick works differently than WLED. It comes with everything pre-compiled, you know, like WLED if you use and install the WLED.info or install whatever, .me, whatever. But you get this little tool which runs on Java, and you fill in your Wi-Fi network, your password, what this board should be called. We're just leaving that default, the device ID, and then this is a beta version that's not released yet of ESPixelstick v4. You can select the COM port, and then you can select the board you're running, and lo and behold, there is actually Quinled-AE+, Quinled Ethernet or normal, and Uno are already in there. So I've been working with the developer of the ESPixelstick firmware. I've been testing some stuff for him, and he's been generously enough to integrate the profiles into there already. Now, it's not perfect yet. We need to fix some stuff. This is very beta, but let's upload this image. It runs FPP remote, so you can upload the fseq file and then it can play those remotely, basically. Now, since this is a DIY board, there's less protections in place, and it seems like it's actually feeding the LEDs over USB, which it doesn't do on the pre-assembled boards, but there's only so much you can do. Okay, that booted, and it gives a few errors, but yeah. Now, I'm going to unshare this and flash it again, because I do need to enter my Wi-Fi password, but for some reason, that is not hidden while flashing. So, yeah, I'm just going to reflash it with the password in there. But I did want to show the install method. So you basically just download that package, run that Java tool, fill in your details, hit flash, and then that's it. So we have to wait a little bit for it to reflash. Okay, it did that. Now, I believe I know the IP. Do I know the IP? I don't know the IP. Let me look up the IP real quick. No, that's WLED. It shouldn't be WLED. Ah, wait, no, of course I can't reach it because the antenna is not on there. So, let me unplug this a little bit. No, basically you shouldn't be flashing with the board on top of the dig, but it's okay. I mean, it doesn't break anything. It's just not recommended to power the LEDs through the USB plug. But it's because it's the DIY version. That's not much I can build a whole elaborate circuit with 20 components to prevent that. But then everyone will have to add those components for a situation which doesn't matter too much. So this antenna connection is kind of flimsy because of the antenna I'm using. I have another one, but I want to use this one. Now you need to be careful when taking this hat off. As you can see, I already bent this little pin, but when I do a real video about it, I'll add some instructions about it, because there's no other way to do it. So let's put this here and put it back. The SD card is still in there, and let's power it up. Okay, now let's see what IP it gets. 10, okay. Yes. So, once you have ESPixelstick running, why is my, oh no, there it goes. What? Oh no, hold on. A little bit more. Right. Once you have ESPixelstick running, you'll be greeted with this screen, which shows you uptime and stuff like that. We do need to change. We need that antenna. What is it? It's just some random antenna I've had for about 10 years, but it does 2.4 gigahertz. So yeah, we need to change one of the pin settings. Although the definitions are correct, there's still some bugs with the software and flashing and stuff like that. So we go to admin, and then we go to advanced mode. Then we go to device settings, and we need to up this one to 5 because, well, it's differently pinned. And let's save the changes and go back to admin and then reboot. Okay, and well, we reboot it now, and suddenly there's a new menu here called File Management, because now the SD card configuration is correct. And we can see that, well, I've already been testing a little bit, and I think this is from our previous test, actually. But yeah, we have a 30 gigabyte-ish SD card. Okay, there. We have plenty of space remaining, and we can upload files using this Jackbox and things like that. But let's see, we go to device settings again. And let's enable secondary input and put that to effects. Let's put it on rainbow, and then enable output 1. And that should be pre-configured to the right GPIO. Let's say we have 300 LEDs, and save. Okay, so it turns out that's that one. Let's lower the brightness to 25%. That's a little bit better, but not much. Anyway, that's fine. So for now, we're going to be using 300 LEDs. If you do want to see the GPIO pin, GPIO number, you can go back to admin, to advanced mode, go back to device setup, and then, oh yeah, it'll show you the GPIO output for output 1, right? So that's just very, very basic. I think you need a license for that antenna. I don't know about that. So that's just a very basic configuration for ESPixelstick. What we're going to do now is we're going to change this from effect to FPP remote, and then we're going to change the primary input to E131. That means we can send E131 to it, but it can also function in FPP remote mode. Okay, so let's save that. Okay, that turns our rainbow off. That's fine. And let me turn down my own music a little bit. How's the music on your end? It's not too loud? Okay, so currently we're done in ESPixelstick. So we flashed it just now using USB, and then we did a very basic setup. Oh, it is? Okay. You guys should tell me. There we go. Okay, I turned it down a little bit. Like talking in a nightclub. There's something to that. So let me start xLights. And I'm no xLights expert. I'm just going to warn you guys. We're going to try and figure this out together. But yeah, not an expert. For sure. Let's see here. We're going to change this to xLights. There we go. And let's make this, yeah, how do I make this bigger? Huh. I don't know. Anyway, I've already configured a controller here, which is called Ethernet. And it actually already has the right IP because I have been playing with this. Anyway, so we can take a look at that if we. Oh no, I don't want. If you double click it, you go to the controller. But if you want to add one of these, wait, where's my? Oh, there it is. You basically say add Ethernet, and you fill in the IP number and then the vendor. But I'm gonna remove this one. Delete. Yes, because I already did that. So currently the vendor is WLED. That worked for me. But there's lots of vendors you can choose from, including ESPixelstick. I'm gonna stick with the WLED for now. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. You can also select our boards in here, so the DIG Uno and DIG Quad, especially if you are actually running WLED, then it'll do more auto configuration. But we're not going to do that either. The only thing we fill in is that the IP address it has, the protocol we want to use, and that's basically it for this screen. Okay? Then in layout, and as I said, this is not an xLights tutorial or anything like that. We're just going to... Yeah, my boards are in xLights for sure. But that's for using actual WLED, because then it'll configure stuff in WLED for you. So right now I have a little line configured because I'm no xLights expert again, and it has 300 LEDs, just like we configured in ESPixelstick for that one output. And other than that, they're WS2811 pixels in RGB mode, I believe. Yeah, or RBG nodes. That's it. Yeah, maybe I should use ESPixelstick, but I'm going to stick with this now because I got that to work. So we're going to take a look at it like this, and later we'll see. So anyway, we have a single line here, which is not very exciting, but it should... You search for that big-ass antenna, but it came up with nothing like it. Yeah, but maybe you're seeing too much or too little, because this is actually an adapter on the antenna. Hold on, a little intermezzo here. So this part isn't the antenna. So if you get an antenna with this type of connector, and you can actually still unscrew it. This hasn't been unscrewed in years. Wait. So this part is an adapter, and this part is also an adapter, right? So the antenna actually has this connection, but I wanted a 90-degree bend on there, but not, this doesn't mate together, it did on that one. So you get one of these, and then you get one of these, and you can build all kinds of crazy antenna contraptions. So anyway, I have different antennas here too. So I mean, I've got like this antenna here. You know, you can flip it like that, and I don't know. This is just from years back when I built my own MicroTik routers and things like that. So anyway, not too important right now. We configured our controller, we configured our layout as just a single line, and now let's go to the sequencer. And here we can say, okay, we want a new sequence over there. Let's make it an animation, 40 frames per second. Oh wait, you can actually see that. Ooh. Hold on. I guess I need to display capture. Well, it's not too important. Okay, so if you do new sequence, you get a pop-up that says if you want to do an animation or a musical sequence, select animation, and then you can choose 40 or 20 FPS or custom. Let's do 40, and then there's a quick start. So let's just hit quick start, and then it auto-fills this into xLights. Is it fixed on newer beta? The WLED upload. I thought it was working. Is it not working anymore? Oh, okay. Justin says it's a WLED issue fixed in nightly builds. Awesome. Anyway, so now we have a single line. I know that's hard to read over here, but let's drag a effect from the bar over there to over here. And this is about as far as my xLight knowledge goes. And then drag it for the full 30 seconds. And if we now hit this little light over here, it should output it to the LED strip. There we go. And we can randomize that a little bit by hitting this this pair of dice. So let's select an effect we like. I don't know. Let's do this. Yeah, that's not very pretty. Yeah, don't read too much into the antennas. I mean, if you can connect any kind of antenna to the external antenna boards. So the antenna we deliver with it is a decent enough antenna, but you can get all kinds of crazy antennas. I mean, yeah. This is, I believe, a 6 or a 9 dB, not sure. But it's old. It's 10 years old. So yeah. Anyway, let's try and get something cool on there. No, that's not cool. Okay. That's not very nice either. I don't know. What effect should we drag onto here? Is this nice? No. I guess xLights maybe doesn't have too much for just a single strip like this. I'm hooking up mine to a cell tower antenna on the vacant lot down the street. Wi-Fi distance to the max. Yeah, probably. Okay, but let's find an effect we like, guys. Do you have any tip? Single line effect has WLED type effects. Okay, but where do I select that? Is it this one? It's doing stuff. Oh, right. Oh, I found it. Now it does Fireworks 1D. Let's do Fireworks Starburst. I like that. And let's do Random Cycle. Ah, cool. I didn't know that. That's new. Nice. Okay. Right, so this is doing stuff on the LEDs. Let's see if we can lower the brightness a little bit so it shows up better on camera. Where do I do that? Brightness. A little bit more, maybe. Maybe I should just change the camera a little bit too. Yeah. Now it shows up on camera a little bit at least. Okay. So we have our effect, and this is playing over Wi-Fi over E131. So if we switch back to ESPixelstick, this one, we can see in the Home tab that we currently have E131 incoming. So it's getting packets, and there's this many universes. This is the source IP. So that all seems to be working fine, right? But that's not what we're looking at today. This already worked fine, and especially if you're using Ethernet, this is the way to use it. But the FP remote status is doing nothing, of course, because, well, this is playing real time, so all the data is being sent over Wi-Fi to the little board. And if you want to do that way, that's fine. For a few pixels, if you want more, you should probably upgrade to Ethernet, because that can handle a lot more pixels and a lot more props and boards, etc. at the same time. But let's say you want Wi-Fi, because you can't really get Ethernet there. But you do want to run multiple boards and lots of LEDs and stuff like that. Now, the idea is to upload what we just made to that SD card, and then play it using FPP remote. Okay. So let's go back to xLights, and I really should have done this differently, but let's go back to xLights. There we go. And I'm going to stop the output to the lights. So let's turn that off. Okay, good. And now I'm going to save this file. And you probably can't see that pop up, but I'm going to call it during stream. Okay. So that's been saved. And then in Tools, we're going to select FPP Connect. Now, it's not going to show you that because it's stupid. Let me see if I can select that window. FPP Upload. Yes. So once it does that, you can go to FPP Connect, and then it shows you this window and all the fseq files which are currently in your show folder. Now, this is the ESPixelstick v4 dev release, etc. that we're currently running. And we made a file that's called duringstream.fseq. Okay, and let's upload that. Oh, okay, it gives a pop-up that it's uploading it. Sorry, you can't see that. What's the difference between sharing your screen and sharing a window, huh? Okay, well, it disappeared because the file is now uploaded. So if we go back to ESPixelstick and we take a look in file management, we see that now duringstream.fseq has been uploaded to the SD card. So that is now available locally on that ESP32. Good. Okay, so let's go back to home here because we're not going to do anything here. And we're going to close xLights. And we're going to go to another tool called Xschedule. Is my chat frozen, or is everyone just mind-bogglingly listening to me? Okay, let's share that. So, all just enjoying the show. Nice. Okay, let's stop. Okay, so this is Xschedule, and Xschedule is meant to actually play your shows instead of from in xLights directly. You can have this running, and I believe there's even a Raspberry Pi version or whatever, so you can have a little tool to just run your shows to multiple controllers and stuff like that. Taking notes for the quiz. Nice. Okay. Now, as I said, I'm not great at this either. I know we added this control... Oh, double-clicked it again. We added this controller in a previous session where we did this. And I don't remember how we did that. Tech Turtle, can you help me out there? Because I'm looking through the menu and I don't remember... Oh no, I hit a plugin. I shouldn't have done that. Xschedule is currently frozen. Stop. Go away. Okay. Okay, sorry. I hit the wrong thing. Oh, it will push... No, it will pull in controllers from show folder. Okay, so if you have it configured in xLights like we have, it'll automatically appear here. That's good. It has the right IP, so let's leave that for now. So in theory, that should auto-appear. But we want to play that file on the ESP32. So let's add a playlist, and I'll show you that window. And there we can say add fseq file. And we select our during stream. So that's this guy. And I don't know. Should we do anything here? Let's name it during stream. And hit OK. So now we have the during stream here, and it's over here too. And I don't know. Let's test it. Place selected. Okay. Well, we have light output. Oh, okay. That's already working. So now instead of E131, we're seeing that FPP remote status is doing something. Seemingly it had a last error where it couldn't pass some fseq files, but it's playing our during stream.fseq on the ESP directly from the SD card. Okay, and it stopped because it's only going to play it once. Oh, Ron Armstrong is here. I don't know him, but okay. Queen, you need to be in xLights to add controllers, not in Xschedule. I know, but it was already configured in xLights itself. So yeah, we just played it. Oh wait, you can see what I was seeing. Oh, my bad. So over here, we're going to say play selected again. And then we're going to go to the browser. And here you can see that it's now using FPP remote instead of E131. So that means it's playing this file locally on the ESP instead of having the data actually sent over the network. And it's playing our little pattern. And yeah, I am by no means an xLights expert. Let's be clear about that. And I mean, I guess some files aren't up to snuff. I don't know. I've been testing and playing a lot with this stuff. But let's go back to let's try and share my screen because this is getting annoying, isn't it? But I don't know if I can make it big enough. Let's if the stream crashes, it's OBS. Let's see, window capture. And let's capture this. No, not window capture. I'm already doing window capture. I need screen capture. Hold on just a second. Display capture. There we go. And let's not do that display. Let's go here because it's a bit bigger. And I need to move this here. And then resize this, I guess. We'll do it over me, but we do want to see the chat. There. And then let's move this over here too. So then we can switch between those two, right? So yeah, xLight. I need to look over here. xLight scheduler, and then if I minimize this, we see the browser with FPP on there, or ESPixelstick v4 beta. This is a custom beta I've been working on with Muller. What's his name again? I forgot. Hold on. Martin Muller. I believe he's the head developer of the ESPixelstick v4 version 4 firmware. But yeah, so now we have this, but I think we need to schedule this. And I think we just want to run this in a loop. Max loops, I don't know. Let's go 10 loops. Okay. I don't know how this works. But okay, maybe not. So let's do that again. Schedule. Oh, right. Between 01 and 23:55. So run all. I know it's very small. You can't really see it. Okay, there we go. Now it's running. Martin Muller. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Philip. If you run one controller or so, maybe you can do it over Wi-Fi. But if you run multiple, Wi-Fi is certainly going to break down. Now, the Ethernet version has always been a perfectly fine option for that. But if you just want to run some props remotely and don't have Ethernet cabling there, and you don't want to go through the hassle, this might actually be a very nice alternative to that. Because, as we mentioned, it plays the files locally on the ESP32, so all the real-time pixel data doesn't have to go through the network, but only some sync packets to keep everything in line. You can play music from computer as the master, and the remote just does what the master tells it to do. Yeah, exactly. DPP is also used for virtual channels in WLED. Yes, I believe it is. But that's still sending everything over the network, I believe. And this is just playing it locally on the ESP32 itself. So especially if you have like 1,000 or 2,000 pixels and multiple controllers, that's really going to start counting if you can't use Ethernet. I used about 16 ESP32 and D1 minis. Wow, okay. That's a lot. Are those all on Wi-Fi Townshend lights? Or do you use Ethernet? Or are you using my boards? What's going on? I worked on the DDP code. Or, yeah, it's limited to the number of LEDs. Exactly. Yeah, but it's still also network traffic, so latency sensitive. And because wireless is a hub and not a switch like Ethernet is, the more you're trying to do concurrently, the more everything will start waiting on each other. Because basically with Wi-Fi, one device can send one thing to one other device. And then if you have 8 clients, you have one AP, it can only talk to each of those 8 at a time, not at the same time. Now it seems like that because it can switch very fast, but it's still one at a time. And if you're real-time pixel streaming to 2 or 3 devices, but it can actually only talk to one device at the same time, that's where the trouble starts happening. Now with Ethernet, Ethernet isn't a hub, but it's a switch, so it can actually talk to all 3 at the same time without bothering each other, and thus Ethernet works a lot better. Now with this, it's only sending sync packets to all the individual clients on the Wi-Fi AP, and that's easily done one at a time, so that also resolves that problem. No, exactly. Yeah. So this seems to be fine. It's playing. It had some sync adjustments, but it's not needing them anymore, I guess. And it's playing them perfectly fine. Yes, naked ESP32 and D1 minis with ESPixelstick loaded on them. The good thing with ESP32, you can use multiple pins with V4. Yeah. This is also the version 4. It's a custom current beta, whatever, that I've been working on with Martin Muller to also integrate the board definitions and improve the code a little bit. I'm not improving the code, he is, but I'm testing with him. So yeah. Yes, it does, Mitchell. So ESPixelstick V4 will also work with the Ethernet boards. Yes, absolutely. So that was kind of what we wanted to test today. But you didn't get the sync without the SD card. No, because, well, Tectoral knows, but you need to have that fseq file, which we generated in xLights, locally on the ESP32. So you need local storage for that. And, well, this is what the AE Plus hat does. It has a MicroSD card slot for a 32 gigabyte or 64 gigabyte SD card. So then you can have all that, I don't know, megabytes, hundreds of megabytes of LED data locally instead of having to stream it over the network the whole time. And it just talks to it like, hey, play this file for that long, this many times, and then the ESP does that on its own. Yeah, Tectoral will work on that. As I said, we're in the final stages of getting these boards out, and it's kind of, you know, doing it the right way always takes longer than not doing it the right way. So we want to have a decent testing procedure so we can test everything before we send it out. That's kind of where we're at right now. So any more questions about this, or why or how, or something like that? As I mentioned, the AE Plus hats will be available for all the dig boards currently out. Cool, Ron. Nice to hear that. I don't know. I believe it's somewhere on the roadmap from AirCookie to have SD card support in WLED also. But currently there's absolutely no timeline or anything like that. And I also haven't seen that feature yet in any beta or something like that. So it's probably a little bit out. It's going to be a short stream. There's probably going to be a lot of secrets. Not a lot of secrets, but I think I'm going to show something which I haven't shown before, which I've been hinting at. So, oh wait, this is my YouTube stats. Hello. Now, let's talk a little bit. I'm going to prepare that because I'm not going to show everything. I'm just going to show a little bit. And I need to prepare that a little bit. Will you release an ESP32 header template so one can design their own hat? Well, I could, but since we don't really sell the ESP32s with long pins except with the Ethernet or now the AE Plus hat on there, that's not going to do too much good. Other than that, and on the ESP32 page, there is full documentation and KiCad files available that you can use to build your own stuff. Let me finish this real quick and then I'll show you. Hold on. Needed to disassemble something real quick. So let's open a website here. So if you go to the QuinLED.info website and you go to digitally addressable LEDs, you go to the ESP32 and there should be ESP32 KiCad files. And there you can see that I have the full schematic for KiCad 5 and KiCad 6 and also a board diagram outline that you can use to use the QuinLED ESP32 in your own projects. And while we're here, you can also see that I've added a little article, available soon, about the AE Plus, the features it has, and you know, that there's going to be 3 versions, and that it's only going to be sold as a complete module, and some other information, including a separate pinout guide for the AE Plus, so that you know which GPIO pin is the touch sensor, the extra LED outputs, the microphones, and the pins to use for the SD card slot. Yeah, it's basically the same as a D1 Mini, a 32. But instead of having 4 times 10 pins, it has 4 times 9 pins. But that should be here in the KiCad files. So there's 1 to 9 here instead of 1 to 10. That's the biggest difference. There's some pin out changes. So the pins with a little star here have a different function than normally. But basically before they were unused and I gave them a function. So that shouldn't interfere with compatibility with known boards. Yeah, the ESPixelstick firmware gives you a great a great alternative to WLED firmware, which is kind of WLED is this giant firmware which does a lot of things pretty good, and it's very good at doing local effects and even 131 over Ethernet and stuff like that. But ESPixelstick firmware is much more goal orientated. It's much more mean and lean. It's built for speed and to do things like we just showed you and talked about. So it's a different kind of approach. Instead of having a giant firmware that does everything, it's very mean and lean to do one specific thing, and it does that really well. I know he's working on lots of stuff, Tech Turtle, but yeah, I don't know exactly. I know the relay output and stuff like that is also going to be supported, but I'm still learning about ESPixelstick myself too, which is funny because I actually started out with ESPixelstick before I did WLED. If you look on my website, I don't even know if that tutorial is still up. I think it's in the Dig Uno section. Yeah. In the Dig Uno section, there is an article from 2019. Wait, you can't see. Sorry. In the Dig Uno section, there's an article from 2019 where I did a guide on xLights and the QuinLED Dig Uno before I ever heard of WLED. So these were the old pre-assembled boards, or even the DIY boards still. I don't even know if we had pre-assembled at that time. And this goes to a guide of using xLights with the Dig Uno. And it has a little showcase for light effects and stuff like that. But that was before I knew of WLED. The last few years we focused on WLED, but we're kind of full circle now where we're talking about ESPixelstick again. So that's kind of funny. So, I'm kind of afraid to show you this secret, really. And I'm just going to flash it on screen quickly. We're not going to talk about it. And that's all you're going to get. Let me see if I can find one thing real quickly. Yes. So there is something I've been working on since November. And it's almost ready to go into its first test production batch. And it's kind of related to all this, but also not. But yeah, we're going to flash it on the screen real quick, and then it's gone. I know people can pause the stream, I don't care. And we're not going to talk about it. It's top secret still, yeah. And this is only one part of it. There's much more coming. And yeah, it's this. And it's gone. So, that's a great secret, huh? I forgot the camera was down. It's really dark, so you probably didn't even see that much. There are some people here who've already seen more of it. But for others, they're just going to have to be wait a little bit longer until I have the first production batch done, or first test production batch, and then we'll start talking about it a lot more in future. But it has to do with LEDs, and it's something different. My pause game sucks. Yeah. We're going to talk about this a lot more in the future, but it's not ready just yet to share it. Shut up, take my money, says Philip. Thanks, Philip, for the donation. That's very kind. Well, Philip knows how long I've been working on this and testing and doing stuff. I guess Tech Turtle got hit the pause button at the right time. I think everyone is not watching the stream anymore and they're rewinding to see what just happened. So, the object of today is done. Let's drink more Coke. And this is still playing, by the way, and well, it's always hard to see on camera, but from what I'm seeing, it is perfectly smooth. What was it? Come on! Rewind, pause, catch up. Got my HD capture, says Phil. Okay. I think I held it still long enough for you to capture it. Nobody's talking anymore. They're all looking back. I got so many questions. Yeah, I bet you do, Tech Turtle, but more about that soon. Nope. Phil says SD card. Oh. Well, we've been talking about SD card the whole time today. Is the software available on your site for the DIY board? Yes, but they're still currently the older versions. I'm working on updated revisions of the articles for the new V3 DIY boards. But other than that, everything is available on the website. Definitely looks like a good early Christmas present. It should be. Current target for release of this guy is somewhere in August. Phil is keeping the pictures to himself. He's probably going full CSI style with zoom, enhance, 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 AI upscale. Anyway. I know I showed it again. My lights went out at the exact moment here in India. What? Phil is using AI enhancement. What? Oh, okay. Yeah, but it's something new, different than what we've been doing before, and it doesn't really replace the Dig Uno or Dig Quad, but it kind of sits above it, just like we're releasing a Dig to Go this year, which kind of sits below it. So, yeah. No, I can't show it once more. I lost it. Sorry. Yeah, we had a meeting with the plastics company this week, so stuff is happening there for sure. You lost it in a package with my name and address to it, on it. Nah, not yet, but maybe pretty soon. We'll see. We'll see. I got it. It's a board. It is. Meanwhile, this LED strip is still having fun. Let's see what FPP player is saying. Is it still playing happily? Yeah, it's a total sync package, and it had to do a few sync adjustments. It's played this file 45 times now, and it's happily playing this little file here. I wouldn't know, Earth Gamer. I have no clue. I just suddenly forgot everything about it.
Think I need an exorcist right now. Oh, hear your voice, but you are not around. Oh, visions of your face
Damn, I knew about unannounced product, but didn't had the news for the Dig2Go thing. Yeah, well, it's been in some previous streams before. I don't have it here right now. But that's basically a tiny integrated pixel controller with an ESP32 based fully on USB-C, including for power. So that's going to be great for battery-powered operation and small installs and stuff like that. And, well, as I said, we're working on it. We're working on it. It's not going to be released as a bare board, but it's going to get a custom plastic housing and stuff like that. Yeah. We're working on it as hard as we can, but it's been tough. Is the Dig2Go going to be FCC and CCA certified? I think you mean CSA and UL. Not initially, but we are thinking about maybe doing CSA, UL, and EC, I guess? CE? Yeah, CE. But that'll be in the future. For fairy lights? Sure, yeah. Are you going to get some Christmas props now for Megatree? Maybe not myself, but I am going to try and help people building them easier, I guess. Well, yes, the mod. That's specifically why I use the modules from Espressif directly and not clone modules and stuff like that. Those are fully FCC and UL and CE and stuff certified. Absolutely, Phil. Maybe not with this Chungus antenna, but yeah, who knows? Oh, if I move the antenna, the sync packets increase. Oh, yeah, Emil Bart has been working on a sombrero. He's been posting it on the WLED Discord and I believe also in the showroom on my Discord. And it's looking interesting. Dig2Go with that antenna on it. You want to throw like Wi-Fi WLED hotspot somewhere or something? It's not going to have an external antenna, at least not this version. So, I think that's going to be it for today. Or are we going to do something else? I don't know. No, I think that's going to be it for today. Not a 5-hour stream this time, which is okay, I think. You finished the project. That's always good. Any questions about this whole SD card stuff? I am going to try and launch that very soon, hopefully this or next week. And then it will be for sale. It'll only come with the ESP32 and antenna and stuff like that included. It's kind of a limitation right now. But yeah, we are looking at refactoring how we do the dig board sales, because there's so many options for ESP32 boards now. We're thinking about separating the dig board and the ESP32 board, where you can still buy bundles of them, but they basically won't come plugged in together and with only basic settings set instead of all settings set, because that would make production on our end a lot easier than it is now. But I wonder what you guys think about that. So currently, if you get a dig quad, it has a dig quad configuration on there, and if you get a dig uno, it has a dig uno configuration on there. But then there's going to be 4 or 5 types of ESP32 that you can put on there. And then there's 2 board types, so that's 10 different types and firmwares, and it's becoming kind of a mess to keep up, and it's costing me a lot in fees that I have to pay people to do stuff. So I'm thinking of simpling that down and only creating a normal ESP32 firmware and a Ethernet firmware, and then you'll get a dig board and an ESP32 in a separate package. And I mean, now it comes plugged in, but you need to take it off anyway because to screw in the wires. So I don't think that's that much of a difference. But what do you guys think? Is that okay? Need to make mistakes on purpose to stream for longer and get more donations, says Avenge CJ. Well, I don't need to make more mistakes on purpose. I make plenty of mistakes. fseq support is a great addition. Yeah, it's really a good, viable option versus Ethernet in either the same or different situations, I think, Phil. It's just a good extra option. Sounds good. Sounds like a great idea. Leave it off. Yeah. Yeah, because that would simplify production for us a lot. And it'll have a bit more generic configuration. But people need to take it off right now anyway. And they should set their own configurations in WLED anyway. Because it's set to 30 LEDs by default and stuff like that. The only issue I can imagine is if they plug it in and their LED strip doesn't light up, we'll maybe get a few more support cases where it says, I don't see any lights. And then we have to tell them, did you adjust the configuration? And then there'll be, but I don't know the GPIO numbers. And then I like, go to the pinout article or read any of the WLED articles. And then it will be fixed anyway. So, if you missed Maiko, he's stuck in a German music stream on Twitch. I told him Quinn streams are mandatory. So now I need to find him. Yes. Yeah, it'll definitely make stock handling a lot easier than it is now. Because we actually keep the boards in stock pre-configured. Which is fine when there was one ESP32 variant. But now there's like a gazillion, so yeah. And I mean software improved too, where now you can real-time set basically anything in WLED without having to recompile. So, yeah. Tech Turtle says, I'm excited for this new board. You always have me waiting. Yeah, you know. I'm always improving. And yeah. Cool. Well, I'm calling it 5 minutes and then the stream is done. I hope. The demo worked a lot better than I expected, because up to this version that we're currently running, which I got from Martin Muller directly, there have been crashes and reboots and boot loops and I don't know what's going on, but it's definitely still beta software, so yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Philip. Yeah. Yeah, Phil, exactly. Web serial upload makes installing new firmware much easier. Very true. Johnny is promoting his own channels again. Even while there's pink LEDs. Can't win with this guy. What is that timeout button for that spammer, right? Good night, Leon. I will be playing Sniper Elite 5 on PC.
Well, here goes nothing.
Oh, Phil's got to go back to work. Well, we're almost done here anyway, Phil. Thanks for hanging around. Where will it sit, in addition to the DIG quad boards or above it? Just more features or a whole new league? It'll sit kind of above it in its own new league. But now we're still talking about it, so... Philip says, right, great stream, and a real teaser this time, for sure. Thanks for the streaming tonight. No problem, Sevach. How about a live stream of you watching and judging Johnny on Twitch, mostly judging? Yes, probably it would be. Maybe another time. See, I need to stop now, because, okay, we're going to the outro, because otherwise I'll reveal too much. You know me. So, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and we'll see each other soon. Bye-bye.